Okay everyone, today we are going to have a look at long division. I'm going to start off with a straightforward long division sum where the number will divide into the bigger number evenly, so we don't have to deal with remainders. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this sum here, 391 divided by 17. All right. So that's usually how the sum will be given to us in our maths book, in an exam paper, whatever. Okay, so we start off by placing our 17 here. Okay, and we draw our division symbol. And it's very important that this is how we draw it, because in long division, we need this area here to be open in order to work out our sum. Okay, so and then we put 391 into our division symbol and we are ready to start. Okay, I'm just going to wipe this out because we need all the space we can get on the whiteboard. Okay, so first of all, it's important to remember that when you're dividing, you have to divide this whole number together. Okay, there's no such thing as dividing 1 into this and then 7. Okay, 1 and 7 are together, so we are dividing 17. We're dividing by 17 all the time. Okay, it's this number that we break up. All right, so our first step is we are dividing 17 into 3. Okay, so you say to yourself, 17 into 3 obviously doesn't go. So as soon as we hear the words or say the words to ourselves, it doesn't go, we put a 0 up here. And that's important to remember because you may need to use that later on in a sum. All right, so it's important if you hear yourself saying it doesn't go, then you put a 0 up. All right, so that's 3 finished with. Okay, but because it wasn't big enough, we now have to pair it with our next number, which is 9. So now we are dividing into 39. Okay, so 17 into 39. How many 17s are in 39? Okay, do we know if there's 1, if there's 2, if there's 3? Some of you may be able to guess, some of you may know straight away, but as always, we go and we do our estimation multiplication just to check. Okay, so 17 times 1 is obviously just 17. We know that. So let's try a bigger number, 17 times 2. Okay, and you always use your rough space to figure out this sum. Okay, so I'm going to do it up here. Like I've said before, it doesn't need to be very neat. However, you should make it that you can read the sum yourself. You don't want to make a mistake like that. So 17 multiplied by 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Put down our 4, carry our 1. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 34. So we can see that 34 is less than 39, which means that 17 divides into 39 2 times. Okay, so in order just to check that, we write our number 2 up here. Okay, and like I said, to check it, we just multiply this by this again. So 2 multiplied by 17 is 34. Okay, so we write 34 underneath our 39. Okay, the next step is to subtract that 34 from 39. Okay, you subtract that as you normally would. 9 minus 4 is 5. 3 minus 3 is 0. All right, so you're left with 5 down here by itself. Now, you check back up into the sum. As you can see, there is a number left up here that we haven't included yet in the sum. So what we do with that is we bring it down alongside the 5, and that becomes 51. Now, you are now dividing 17 into 51. As of now, you're finished with these numbers up here, okay? So you are now dividing 17 into 51. So again, we know that 17 times 2 is 34 as we did that sum up here, all right? Do we think we can fit another 17 in to bring us to 51? Okay, or will it be even more? So again, we're going to rely on our estimation multiplication. So with that, I'm going to try 17 times 3. Okay. 7 times 3 is 21. Put down my 1, carry my 2. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So as you can see, that came out as 51. Which means that 17 divides into 51 3 times evenly. So before you forget, you put your 3 up here, okay? And like with every other time, you check your answer. So now you just ask yourself, 3 multiplied by 17, okay? What is 3 multiplied by 17? That's 51. So you write that down here. And as always, you subtract it, and obviously 51 minus 51 is 0. So because you have 0 down here, you know that you have no remainders and that your answer is 23 evenly.